Welcome to Are You Chemistry GCSE Ready? This playlist takes you through loads of example questions and guided solutions for every single topic in your chemistry GCSE. So it's a perfect way for you to test your chemistry knowledge. If you feel like you need a quick review or you just want the ideal revision companion for these videos, then make sure to download my free chemistry GCSE revision notes. I've linked them in the description below. Or if you're ready, let's dive straight in.
Okay, formulation. So what is a formulation? So it's something that has a specific use or function. So for example, cleaning grease off an oven. And therefore you need a precise composition of different substances, or in other words, it kind of has an exact recipe to make that formulation so that it is fit for its use or function. Here we've got cleaning grease off an oven. In your notes, we had the idea of different percentages of substances that make up drugs that mean that you would be able to ingest them and it would be taken to the right place in your body and the right amounts. And if you change a little bit of that recipe, then it might not be able to do one of those things. Okay, what is a ceramic? Well, ceramic is kind of my umbrella term, and it's used to describe a material that is a non-metal substance that has been heated or fired so that it's now strong, brittle, and a poor conductor of heat and electricity. And they can look quite different from each other, but still be classified as ceramic. So, for example, glass is a ceramic, but it's transparent, and clay is also a ceramic, but it's opaque, and that's due to what non-metal substances these ceramics are made out of. What is a composite material? So that is something which is made of a reinforcement embedded into a matrix. What does that mean? So your reinforcement is a substance that you're adding into your matrix that usually is going to make it a stronger material than your matrix alone. And your matrix is the binding agent, so it's a thing that holds that composite material together. So for example, in fiberglass, you have your ceramic glass, which is your reinforcement, which makes it stronger, which you embed into your polymer, which means that you can still have this low density. So you get a mixture of the two properties when you have this composite material. Okay, choosing the right material. So we've been asked to use information in the table to decide which polymer will be most appropriate to make disposable cups for hot drinks. Now, just be careful here. Whenever it gives you a table or something it's asking you to use, make sure that you really do use the information from the table and not just things that you know to be true, maybe in your head, okay? So number Y here is going to be the most appropriate. And that's because if I look at these three things, I'd like it to be low cost. These are disposable cups. It's not going to be great if I incur massive cost trying to make these. And the other thing is it has its high rigidity. So that means it will hold its shape and not spill any of the contents. And also the high melting point is good as well because it won't melt when holding those hot drinks. So honestly, really, this section is just common sense, but make sure you're referring to the things mentioned in the table and then applying them to that particular use. Okay, what is a nanoparticle? So any particle bigger than 1 nanometer, but smaller than 100 nanometers. So the definition is as simple as that, but do make sure you know that boundary between 1 and 100. How does changing the size of the particle affect its surface area to volume ratio? There's an example in the notes of the different cubes, and basically, if your particle is 10 times smaller, its surface area to volume ratio is 10 times bigger, and that can make nanoparticles really useful, have a really useful property. But why are some people concerned about nanoparticles? So we have the unknown effects on the body. They can easily pass into your cells and they don't break down. So people are worried that they could build up and damage cells. It's a new area of science, so we're not sure what the long-term effects are necessarily yet. and also not just our body, but the effects on the environment. So they're hard to separate from other mixtures because they're so small. They could easily get washed away into waterways, and so they could harm aquatic life in those different environments as well.
Just before we go into the tips and tricks section, if you do want some extra advice to getting that grade 9 for your GCSE, then why not download my free 20-minute exam success guide? Just click on the link in the description below. I'm going to give away all of my best advice and secrets, and completely for free, so why not?
Tips and tricks for this section. So first is read the questions that ask you to pick the material as best given use very carefully. Do they want you to use data from the table? Do they want you to use your own knowledge? Do they ask for a combination of what they've written in the table and what you know? But make sure that you are linking all of those properties to the specific use. When you evaluate, remember there may be more than one acceptable answer. So make sure that you just back up your suggestion carefully so that you can grab all of those marks. So if it doesn't feel like it's particularly obvious which material they would like you to pick, then make sure that you just use your information to argue both sides, and that is probably going to be the correct answer.